Let's watch it. Street Talks are just broke things.
What up, guys? Welcome to the wait. Welcome to It's Complicated.
W's Complicated, best channel on YouTube. Well, if he wasn't such a bot.
Today, I have overtaken the channel, and we are in Las Vegas, and we are going to be asking people different questions about relationships. So, buckle up, guys, and like the video on your way in, leave a comment, and let's get started.
Do you know more people who enjoy dating or who complain about dating?
It's both.
I feel like most people complain about dating.
Why do you think that is?
Because they're not happy in their relationships.
Now, if there was one thing that you wish that men understood better about women, what would it be?
How to be more catering, because I'm tired of giving.
What do you mean? You said catering?
Yes, because I give more than I receive.
So would you say that reciprocity is key in relationships?
Yes.
Now, do you feel like, who do you think typically invests more into building a relationship, the man or the woman?
The
man.
woman, of course.
Well, like,
Throwback.
like, what exactly does a woman do to kind of build a relationship as opposed to what a man does?
Well, I feel like we're more supportive,
Merch.
first off, and we're going to do more because we want to see you succeed more, and I feel like most men aren't doing that.
I mean,
Well, you can't be supportive if we're not supportable. So everything comes secondary. You see how she doesn't even empathize with the male experience? To be in a position where you support or when you offer a shoulder to lean on at the end of a long day, you have to be the man that is providing. So she's disregarding all of that and just assuming that you play your male role. But the female role of being supportive, that's the biggest effort of all time. Men, you're just expected to do it.
And we're going to do more because we want to see you succeed more, and I feel like most men aren't doing that.
I mean, I grew up with this all the time. It's about like the guy doesn't treat me well. He's not nice enough. He's not holding the door for me. And I've also been that guy who's done all of that. And you are overlooked, overshadowed easily by the guy who treats you like shit and is an absolute douchebag. So,
Well, see, when I think of like traditional, it's like the guy picking you up, taking you out to dinner, holding the doors, paying for the date, and waiting for sex.
I mean, yeah, I think that all though that lies on the woman though. Like that's the power the woman has.
and they'll put this ideal up on a pedestal of what a man should be and what they want, and then what they actually go seek out is the entire opposite.
Yeah, they want a man to be perfect, clean cut, goes to church, nice guy, monogamous, cooks, cleans, and then they go and fuck me.
And as someone who there's a lot of men out there who just have a good heart and just want to be heard
I'm playing chat.
really appreciated for that. And a lot of times you don't feel like you can show that, because once you show that compassion, once you show your true colors, it's looked at as a weakness.
You know, I feel men have to be the providers. Men have to
Yo, Pearl is towering over all these men.
you know, basically give up their entire lives to please a woman, when men, you know, we're only worth what we can provide. Women are worth just for their looks or for you know, basic things, but we need to provide everything in a relationship or in any aspect of life.
Mm-hmm. And even if you're able to, you know, attract a woman, are you able to keep her happy, keep her satisfied?
Unless you can meet her list, no.
So you think that women are really more interested in the situation than they are in the actual man?
Yeah, I do.
Then why do women divorce men 70 to 80% of the time, 90% if they're college educated?
I don't know. I just heard
Ego too big.
that one too.
If women like have more unconditional love, doesn't it seem like then men would?
Women's love is conditional now.
Well, from what I've seen that, and it usually I've seen that most of the divorces are instigated by women. They said that men are.
Initiated, not instigated.
I don't really know the answer to that. I know on the other side, men are just more willing to stick something out and just work at it, even though they're unhappy.
And if a man typically has to have looks, money, and status in order to attract lots of beautiful women, how is the man not considered the prize?
Because a man loves a woman,
Doesn't a woman love a man?
A woman does love.
Conditionally. And this is something that I really like from Big Act, and he was saying this on New Year's Eve. We were all drinking. We were in the section with Nelk Boys. Drewski was there. And then afterwards, they all left, and it was just me and Ack, and then some of the fans came through. And Ack is like talking about how you the prize, because like, yo, Ack, say you the prize, and he's like, nah, you gotta believe you the prize, If you don't, it's a mindset. If you don't think that you're the prize, everywhere we go, Ack steps into a place and we sit down. Say we're waiting for the club, we're waiting for the waitress. Like, yo, wait a waitress, Ack, Big Ack in the building. The prize is here. Let us in. Where the bounce at? Big Ack in the building. That confidence will carry you much further in life than you really know. You're able to hypnotize your mind in a positive way. And even if you don't get the service that you demand or the service that you want or the service that you expect, believing that you're the prize and believing that you're someone of value it tells the world that you should be treated that way. But people will quickly jump to the internet and jump to safe coping spots online because they don't know how to demand what they really want.
A man, but a woman loves money more.
So do you think women are more interested in love or power?
Power.
Power of the punani.
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean?
The power it's the power that a woman has naturally, like her superpower.
It's her power to create a bunch of simps begging for a drop of her attention, holding pussy in front of them, like that guy running on the fat dude running on the treadmill with a muffin with his head attached to a string.
That's what grabs a man. That's what makes a man want you to begin with. He doesn't even know you. It's just you're a woman.
And what's the difference between using power and abusing power?
Using it is basically just
using it to be a good person. I think a good example of somebody who uses their power properly are Andrew and Tristan Tate. They have Andrew is one of the most Googled men in the world in 2022, extremely rich, influential, and they choose to show respect, and they choose to spread the message of God. They choose to challenge the powers that be. They choose to risk their reputation and risk going to jail to do the right thing. They're using their power in the correct way, and that's what I want to do by the end of this year. I want to become more powerful so that I can spread a positive message. Even though it's Seek Truth Through Funny, it's not just mindless comedy, mindless entertainment. I want to be a positive force. But a good example of people abusing their power are a lot of women now, because they're not used to being in a powerful position. And so as soon as they get it, they start toying with you. They start creating sims. They start like actually trying to break your heart on purpose. They create OnlyFans and they rake in money knowing that they're making people sadder. And you can see them in my chat. They are creating sad men. And it's not really like they're bad intentionally, but they know that they're abusing their beauty, which is their power.
utilizing it for its purpose. Abusing it is using it for your advantage, but it's going to be at a disadvantage for that other person.
So when it comes to the power of the punani, do you think that women are more likely to use or abuse that power?
In general, they probably abuse it.
So why isn't that given more attention?
Because men are not really going to complain about it. It's you know, you just chalk it up. That's just part of the game. Like,
you just charge it to the game. Charge it to the game.
You know, you get played sometimes.
It's very rare that I've ever felt that I can open up to a woman, because usually once you do, it kind of comes off as red flags. It comes off as needy. Oh, he's the nice guy. Those
Chad, who do you think would win in a fight, me or Pearl?
kind of aspects, and they want someone to take charge. They want someone who's got their shit together, and it's almost like it's always convoluted, and the message is never on par. It's you're asking for this, you're getting that, and there's no middle ground, and it's very easy for women to kind of move on from a man if you're not meeting those attributes.
So if women became more aware of these
Come on,
double
Chad.
standards and men's issues, how much do you think would actually change?
I would hope more. I can't say for sure. I mean, I've had these discussions prior, and it seems to get heated, and women go, "You don't know what you're talking about," so you kind of brush it aside and try and find a way around it. But
I mean, have you found certain women who are more receptive to these issues than other women?
yes, absolutely. I've got some great friends who are very empathetic, very compassionate, and I think the world of them. But as a whole, most men don't get to experience that, and they aren't treated that way by the majority of women.
Now, what are your thoughts on the expression, women don't care about a man's struggles, they just want to show up at the finish line and pick the winner?
That's her. She's dressed like one. She got some big ass personalities on.
I honestly, you said women don't care about a man's struggles?
Basically, modern women today don't care about a man's struggles, they just want to show up at the finish line.
That is her.
And pick
Oh,
the
I
winners.
think that that's true because someone like me, I'm going to be there for you and support you. But these new age girls,
Oh, okay. I'm not like the other girls. Okay. All right. You got a big heart. 2 of them.
I don't know about them. They are just ridiculous, and I feel like they're only in it to get what they can get out of it.
So why do you think there's the expression, where have all the good men gone, but nobody's asking where have all the good women gone?
Because you don't put any responsibility on the woman.
Well, where have all the good men gone? All the good men gone? They're stupid because they're dating these younger women.
Cope.
And they're getting used. So the reason why there's so many good women out here is because we're being looked over.
She just said, I'm 34.
I think that when they say that, like, the answer to where have all the good men gone is in your 20s. Like, where it's like an expression where women would look over the good men in their 20s and, like, pick the bad.
That's where they were. You wanted to go outside. You wanted to go out in Vegas with your big-ass personalities and get a bunch of attention and be a girl boss and get your dinners paid for and then not exercise anything that you need to do as a wife. And then as soon as you hit 34, you're like, where are the good men?
Boys.
Exactly.
And then in their 30s, they're like, oh, well, take me now. But it's like they're kind of salty because we overlooked them in our 20s.
So yeah, we do overlook them in our 20s, and I can say we overlook them in our 30s because I've been stuck with some bad men in the 30s. And technically, I feel like now it's kind of like there are really no good men. I haven't found a good guy, so we do overlook it.
And see, the problem with modern women is they'll say stuff like that, I haven't found a good man, and then they also don't put themselves in positions to find a good man. A good man is not going to want to be with you by the way you're presenting yourself. I know you have giant personalities, but they're not going to, like, just taking a look at you and you're giant. Like, why would a good man look at you and be like, that's the mother of my kids? You wouldn't. If you want to find a good man, put yourself in the situations where you're going to be found.
Now, has there ever been a man you wanted that you weren't able to get?
Well, I'd like to talk about Bruno Mars. I do want him, and if he met me, he'd want me too.
Now, if you had the opportunity to hook up with Bruno Mars, would you take it?
I sure would.
So when a woman says that I'm not that type of girl, isn't she really saying I'm not that type of girl with you, but I am that type of girl with a guy like Bruno Mars?
No, because I'm going to be myself with him regardless of who he is. So if he's going to like me for who I am, then he's going to see that I'm a good woman regardless of anything.
Do you think it's true that women will make rules for the wrong guy but break rules for the right guy?
I do. I do believe that.
I think so, too.
Well, I mean, sometimes we like the bad boys, so we tend to break the rules for them.
Do you think that women tend to lust after bad boys but want to settle down with nice guys?
Oh, we sure do. I love a bad boy.
What's attractive about a
There you go. Where are the good men?
bad boy?
They just have that quality that just is so attractive.
They're attracted to toxic behavior. Chat, stop simping and get a little toxic. You need to get a little bit toxic. Stop the flowers. Get off of OnlyFans. Stop paying for porn. Stop being a fucking simp. Watching games all day on Twitch. Playing. Go outside more. You know, get some drip, just like really obvious stuff, and you can see the clear, stark difference between the type of dudes that are gonna get laid and the type of dudes that are gonna be looked over and turn to OF to cope their whole fucking miserable life. You're sad. Get a little more toxic. City boys, we up in 2023. And I know that there's a lot of Christians in here, and I know that they're saying we're against promiscuity and everything, but a lot of guys need to do that. And I see some of you coping too. Some of you are like, W, semen retention. Semen retention is about not watching porn. Semen retention is not really about fucking bitches. So just from experience, and I know the Bible and the Quran will go against it, but you know, getting with women will solve a lot of problems for a lot of men nowadays, man. And the stats are 1 in 3 men are virgins or have not had sex in the past year, and you see them, they go online more to cope now more than ever.
How do bad boys treat women?
Horrible.
So then why would you want to be with a bad boy when they treat you badly?
Because they do other things that the good ones don't.
Like what?
I don't want to go there.
We know. We know.
They do.
Why do you think women don't pick the nice guys?
Because they're boring. Women are emotional. They need somebody that can control their emotions.
I mean, it's more of a thrill, I would imagine. I mean, I get it that, and I understand to some degree that like a guy who's very indecisive and, you want someone who can kind of show that take charge mentality. So if you're indecisive, like, I don't know, where should we go out? Like, I get that gets frustrating, but you also have to understand if you're asking for the guy who really listens to you, he wants to know your opinion. That's actually what he's saying. He says, I want to listen to you. I want to hear what you're saying. I want to appreciate what you want out of this relationship, and I'll then take action. But women kind of more so I want you to just make the decision, tell me what to do, and then go with it and run with it from there. And so it's kind of like miscommunicated signals where they're asking for one thing and getting another, but even when they get it, they're not quite pleased with it. And yeah, to put it simply, it's a bit of a clusterfuck.
Do you think that men are assholes because women date assholes?
Yeah.
So then do you think women have the right to complain when they're
No, women create assholes.
enabling that behavior?
No. And like speaking truthfully, like I think back to one of my earliest girlfriends where I was definitely too much of a nice guy and I got walked all over. And I can tell you from experience, I changed my behavior to be more of an asshole simply for that point, in that I was like, I don't want this to happen again.
It's like men and women are different. It's okay because the world doesn't care if you do what's easy. It's easy for us to get sex. It's hard for men to get sex. So it's like if you do the easy thing, everyone's like, okay.
She know what I'm trying to say.
Who do you think is more likely to be able to have sex without feelings, men or women?
Men.
Well, if it's not,
That's hard.
Easy question. It's not a hard question, dude.
That's hard because it's just
No.
like
Sway Lee from Ray Shremmer.
like some females, they be out here, they can just have sex with a man for money and they just be that. And a man could just,
Well, that's not the average woman. Well, nowadays,
he could like what he could just like what he see.
well, I mean, if it's not women, why do the majority of sex workers happen to be women?
Ah.
Oh, can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Would you say that bad boys, do you look at them as more of protectors?
They are protectors. I do feel like, I found more security in the bad ones, but I also feel like I got used by more of the bad ones than I did being
that's the definition of a bad boy. They wouldn't take you seriously.
protected. So
Speaking of being a protector, if women expect men to pay for sex, why don't men expect women to pay for bodyguards?
because they're stupid.
Why do women often describe men as stupid but then expect love from them in return?
Why do we describe them as stupid? Because we've been through a lot of stuff. So
Because you have the privilege of never taking accountability. It's never her fault.
because
But isn't it fair to say a lot of men have been through a lot of stuff as well?
they have, but I feel like, sometimes you get a good woman and you treat her like shit, and then you expect us to not call you stupid when you do us dirty, and then we're standing there looking stupid, but yet you are the stupid ones, because guess what? They always come back. And I can say that for prime example, every one of them have come back.
Do you think that don't you think that's just like batting out of your league though? Like you get shit treatment because you're shooting too high?
Settle. Or you're gonna get a bunch of cat food.
I don't think I'm shooting too high.
I don't know you, but just like in general, like if you're if you're shooting too high, like they don't treat you right. You know what I mean? Because that's a guy that's got a lot of options.
Damn, Chad, who wants to treat Pearl right?
And are we talking about the bad boys?
Yeah, like usually bad boys have a lot of options.
They may have a lot of options, but they don't have a lot of good ones. And I'm a good one, so
What makes you a good one? Lee, out on Vegas trip with your personality's out. What makes you one of the good ones? See, this is something that all women believe, and they have no reason to believe it. They just all think this, but what do you really bring to the table?
therefore, I'm going to always aim high, because guess what? The quality is always going to be there. So, I mean, if you lose out, then you're the one who's stupid.
But wouldn't you say if you're a good one, like someone would have picked you?
I can say if I was a good one, they would have picked me, but still, we always get overlooked because sometimes being good doesn't always
See exactly what I'm saying? It's never her fault.
mean that they want a good girl. They want somebody that's a bad girl. And when you're too good to someone, then they feel like, that's not what they want.
You feel like they like take advantage.
They do take advantage.
Nowadays is the woman expects that you are going to fill these roles, and if you're not, she's kind of going to overtake those roles. And the men get belittled. They feel lower self-esteem. They're not as high valued as they want to be, and it's kind of a juggling act. So
A man has 2 women. He lies to one. He tells the truth to the other. Which one does he love?
He loves the one he's lying to.
That's a tough one. Usually it's the one he's lying to.
Why is that?
Because women can't handle the truth. We all know this.
Because he doesn't want to hurt her feelings, and it's harder to be just bluntly honest with a woman because you never know what her reaction is going to be. So if you're being bluntly honest with her, then you either respect her 100% or you don't really care how she's going to feel.
Do you think women often want what they can't have?
Yes.
So then wouldn't you say that chasing women is terrible advice for men?
Chasing women is terrible.
Because if he chases you, then he's basically telling you you can have me, and he's no longer a challenge.
I like a chase because I always got my running shoes on. So yeah, I do like a chase.
Do you think that men prefer the chase or the catch?
Chase.
They prefer the chase because when you're easy to catch, they don't want you after they got you.
So do you think women prefer men who like the chase?
I do. I love a good chase. As I said, I always got them running shoes on.
But wouldn't you say that men who prefer the chase are less likely to be loyal because they will continue chasing?
Yes. Very true. Because
So it's your fault you're single. Admit it.
well, once they actually get you, then they don't want you anymore. So, which sucks though. But unless you get a good guy who actually likes a woman that kind of holds out and she's good quality, then the chase was worth it.
But we don't like the good guys. And you said before, like, you make rules for them, right? So if you're making a guy wait, you probably don't like him that much. Because for Bruno Mars, you're down to...
Ooh, bro. Why are you so critical on Pearl when she's able to break it down? Like, she's very needed in this space. One more time.
Right? So if you're making a guy wait, you probably don't like him that much. Because for Bruno Mars, you're down tomorrow, right?
Most likely.
Bruh. But the guy that you're actually going to settle down with, the guy that'll take you seriously, you're making him wait. But Bruno Mars unfucking believable, bro.
And it might be 15 minutes in. Might be 15 minutes in with
Disgusting.
Bruno now.
How long would he really have to talk to you?
He wouldn't have to. You would show up and spread your legs.
Bruno?
Yeah, like if you said, I want
Unfucking
sex, like, would you...
If Bruno started singing Versace on the floor, everything would happen. I'd be butt naked before he got to the first verse.
Hurrah! But the guy that's gonna take you seriously, you make him wait. No respect. That is disrespectful. And they all think this way. And even after this interview, she's still not gonna change her mindset. I still would. I would still W fornication all over.
He wouldn't even have the first V out.
I would dabble in the dark.
I'll tell you an interesting stat that I think most women don't know. You know, 1 in 3 men under 30 are either virgins or haven't had sex in the past year.
And they're all in my chat.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So a lot of times, like, we'll complain about guys cheating, but we pick the cheaters. Because there's a lot of guys that won't cheat on you, we just don't like them.
I honestly did not know that, and that's a good fact to know.
Would you believe it? Like, does that make sense with what you've seen?
I believe it, but I still end up with a cheater.
Because I think we like guys that cheat.
Who's not having sex is somewhere where I don't see, because I'm going with the bad boys. So yes.
So would you say that a lot of women are more attracted to like toxic men?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think they are.
Stay toxic, chat. Because this is the nature of the game. I understand a lot of you want to settle down and get married and be in a long-term relationship, and I respect that. But in my view, marriage is dead in the West. You're going to get your assets taken away. They're going to make you pay child support, alimony, divorce fees. You're going to be in a boring relationship. She's going to walk all over you. It's not worth it. It's just marriage in the West is designed to make you lose. So I understand your willingness, but at least just get married within the church.
So why do women complain about, toxic masculinity when a lot of women are enabling that behavior by choosing to date bad boys and toxic men?
I think it stems from our childhood. Sometimes we have somebody in our life that is a toxic person because we've seen it happen to someone else in our family. So then we kind of follow in the footstep of that.
How do you know when the honeymoon stage of a relationship is over?
Some of the weird shit starts to matter. Like
the red flags that you ignored at the beginning because you were horny, they start to become a problem.
That's the truest thing I've ever heard. But to the girl, right?
Yeah, definitely. Usually it matters a lot.
You start like,
Yeah.
the girl starts saying what's annoying her.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so for instance, you might see your girl in the kitchen, you walk by, you slap her butt, right? So in the first couple of months, that's fine. It's like, ooh, babe, that's whatever. And then you do it again for like another 2 months. So that's like 5 months in. And then like another 2 months in, she's like, can you stop doing that? So, you know, that's just one of the...
Has that happened to you?
Yeah. Yeah, it has.
That's when that's a really good description of when the honeymoon phase is over.
But hey, it's all good, you know. At least you learn from it, so it's good.
What up, guys? I am taking over It's Complicated's channel today.
You know damn well this was It's Complicated's idea to go and shoot her doing this.
I figured since I am in Vegas, everyone's plastic here, so I'm just gonna do it too.
Why is it that a man can marry a woman and make her queen, but a queen can't marry a man and... Why is it that a man can marry a woman and make her queen, but a queen can't marry a man and make him king?
Because a woman marries up and ready for her Lee delusion.
I wouldn't say that's not true. I feel like everybody's a queen and everybody's a king.
Shut the fuck up. Exactly. She thinks she's a 10. She thinks she's a queen. You have to become a king. And then a king makes the queen. You can't just feel like a king and a queen and then it happens. No, you're gonna get laughed at.
King, from birth.
Well, if everyone was a king or a queen, why would a king or queen be...
Matter. It doesn't... We're not all special. Just admit that. Accept that most of us are normies. Most of us don't matter. Most of us are overlooked and regular. You can't just make up a reality in her head. She can because she's a woman. Men can't just make it up. I'm a king. No, you... Give me the castle, pussy. That's what happens. Modern female delusion every single time with the delusion.
Special.
Everybody's special. You're special, you're all.
Oh my God! Every single time.
Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do anything you want to do. You are a queen. You are a king from birth. That is how God made us. God put us in this world to be great.
Come on, everyone can't be special. Everyone cannot be special.
If everybody's special, then nobody's special. Just with that statement alone, you have made it irrelevant. By saying everyone's special, nobody's special. That's how it works.
Let me tell you something. Everybody is special. It's in you to dig deep and find it. Some people don't dig deep in their time that they have in life to get there. But I feel like everybody's born to be special. You just have to figure out what's special about you. You get what I'm saying?
No, I feel like some people...
Because I'm special doesn't mean you're not special.
No, I think sometimes people are average.
Why does my light dim yours?
That has nothing to do with what Pearl said.
Because if everyone's special, then no one's special.
Based Pearl, whirl in the chat, bro.
It's not true.
Yeah, because if you're special, you have to...
Exactly, Ninja. L participation trophy. Bro, just because you showed up and put on eyelashes doesn't mean you're a queen.
Be different than other people. Otherwise, you're just average.
But everybody's special in their way. I'm not saying that everybody's the same. I said everybody's special in their way.
The reason they believe this is because of participation trophies.
Just because, okay, you're special, you like, I don't know what you like. You might like rock, you might like this. I'm special. I like totally different things. That doesn't make me less special.
Yeah, but then there's still a million other people that have the same...
Like their own things, too. All of us don't like the same combination of things. It's kind of like a combination lock. We don't have the same combination.
I think it's like narcissistic to think you're like special.
Absolutely, Pearl.
Like, I feel like that's narcissistic.
No, you should feel like you're special.
Women tend to overvalue themselves while men tend
Never listen to that, bro. Just earn it.
to undervalue themselves.
Because, okay, so as men, when we grow up, we have friends that, you know, tease us and bully us. Like, oh man, your nose is big as hell, you know? Like, they tell us these things that, you know, to women it might sound demeaning, but to us, they're giving us a reality check. So from a young age, we grew up getting reality checks constantly in a joking manner. You know, your friends are going to joke with you and tease you. And I think on the other hand, women, they get more praises as they grow up. So they grow up all this time through, you know, teenage years into adulthood. And then you wonder now when somebody actually tell you like, hey, your nose is kind of big. And you're like, I haven't been told that my whole life. Well, they're being lying.
Do you think that Do you think that men tend to insult each other and not mean it, while women tend to compliment each other and not mean it?
Great question, man. Great question.
100%. That pretty much is what I was saying. Like, you summed it up. That's pretty much it. Men insult each other, and it's more of...
Yeah, like, chat, when you say chinko, niggo, juco, lateco, fadco, you don't mean it. You're just joking, right?
the endearment. Like, man, you ugly as hell, boy. You can't talk to me. Whereas a girl tells, like, oh, girl, you look good. And then, like, no, she doesn't. Like, you know, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, you summed it up pretty good.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I call women whales, and even if it's true, they get mad.
She loves calling women whales. It's her favorite pastime.
That's no problem. Go to the gym.
Yeah, that's what I say.
I feel like you should feel like you're beautiful. You should feel like you're that girl. You're that guy. You can do anything that you put your mind
This is the effect of City Girls and Meg Thee Stallion.
to. Him. He can do it.
Oh, no. Oh,
Is he
no.
are you special?
Look at...
Sir?
This is what OnlyFans... This is what the OnlyFans simps in my chat look like.
Because a man has to work for his worth. A woman is born with her worth.
Where did you learn that?
Just watching different people talk, different podcasts. I don't know if you familiar with the Fresh and Fit podcast, but
Shout out Fresh and Fit.
Hey, Dom DeMarco.
shout out Fresh and Fit. They talk about all that on there, and it's just, it opens the mind up because it's what's happening. Like, females can take advantage of their bodies and just off of how they look and just take it off. And a man can't do that. You know what I mean?
I mean, for me, like, I've always identified myself in the sense of, like, what a feminist is in terms of I believe in equality. I want the same equal rights for everyone. But I kind of stumbled upon your videos. And it really kind of opened my eyes to, like, this, you know.
This guy's starting to get woken up.
All the things I've kind of been told about, like, women need to be pumped up. They need all this extra stuff. And it kind of peeled back that onion a bit. And kind of, I was like, I kind of want to dive into this a bit more. It kind of opened my eyes to a new light of that. So that's more what kind of gravitated me to your stream was more. It opened my eyes in a way where I was like, I feel like I've been lied to a little bit.
Oh, you feel like you've been lied to?
Yeah, well, it's just
Disney movies lied to you. They told you that simping is good. They told you that you need to buy flowers and give women all the praise. And then they completely disrespect you for it.
because you go out and you're a man and it's you've got it so easy. You don't have to deal with this. You don't have to deal with that. And a lot of women don't realize what, especially like single men, like if you're a really attractive guy, you've got every girl hitting on you. It's really great. But, you know, the average guy spends a lot of time by himself, dealing with problems himself. And until he gets to that point,
He's getting red pilled slowly.
of I'm successful, you know, especially if you're not a guy who's like, what's that quote? It's 6 figures, 6 foot and 6 inches, all that kind of stuff. It's, it's almost belittling as that double standard, and I really don't like it. So I've really identified with a lot of the points you make, and it's really helped me find a voice for things I couldn't really put into words prior.
They technically, for the most part, have the power in the relationship.
So why do you think women want equality in everything except for dating?
Women aren't special. They're special ed.
I think that goes.
Not all women, blah, blah, blah. Someone's going to clip that out of context. But the women who think that they're special are just special ed.
Goes back to, like, they just don't want people to tell them what to do. Like, they just want control.
Do you think it's more about control and power than equality?
You know what? I think it is, because a lot of the things that are when they're equal, it's like, okay, well, now we can both do this. We can both lift these boxes. And it's like, nah, I don't want to lift these boxes. You go lift these boxes. You know? It's very conditional. It's about what they want at that time.
A lot of the questions that I ask on my channel are often met with responses like it goes both ways. If it does go both ways, why do you think that women dominate the mainstream media when it comes to talking about women's issues while men's content is forced to remain online?
I don't feel like it's equal at all, because women are more subjective to their feelings and other women are more subjective.
Long live Ja. XXXTentacion?
to their feelings, you know what I mean? And so it's just like a woman is gonna feel bad for another woman, but a man is supposed to go through hard times and go through the struggle.
I tweeted today, gym greater than therapy, and Your Age, shout out to Your Age, shout out to YRG, I don't know if they're watching, but he replied and he said that there were some traumas that he got over in therapy that he couldn't have got over in the gym, blah, 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 blah. Therapy's good because I had anger issues, blah, 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 blah. But overall, it's better to deal with your problems in the gym, something where you're actually accomplishing something, where you're progressing, rather than sit and talk about it and go in circles about stuff that already happened. You're not accomplishing anything by going to therapy. By definition, you're sitting and stewing in it and reliving it by talking about it and paying somebody to talk about it. And it's funny that he said that, well, therapy's good, but he doesn't go to therapy anymore, but you don't stop going to the gym. The gym never stops. The grind don't stop. That's why it's better.
To make his success, you know what I mean?
What were you going to say?
I was just going to say that that's one thing that I don't understand, because we really do not pay attention to men's mental health and things that they go through. We always worry about women, but men definitely go through it too. I know it's not easy for a woman, but it's definitely not easy for a man as well. So I feel like it should be equally, you know.
But it's just like that's the thing, like, even though me and you treat it like that, a lot of people don't see it as equal, because especially a lot of females feel like a man should prioritize their woman first before anything, and a man is supposed to be the front line of defense. Like, if a man
I thought he was tall, and it zooms out and Pearl's got a whole head and shoulders over her ex.
a woman's supposed to, like, a woman looks for a traditional man, right, without being a traditional woman. And a woman is
just like that, the black queen with the big personality titties saying that all men are bad because they don't want to date her, and she's openly admitting that she only likes the bad guys, and she's outside with her like half naked. Like, it's your fault.
So quick to say something about what a man is supposed to do and what a man is not supposed to do, but what is a woman supposed to do? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, why do you think that women enjoy all the things that are traditional when it comes to dating and courtship, but then a lot of old-fashioned values women often label to be sexist?
That's a good one. Because some people just want their cake and eat it too, and that's the problem.
Do you think that women are more likely to have their cake and eat it too, or men are?
Women.
As human beings, we're programmed like that. So if you give me the opportunity to have cake and eat it, I'm gonna eat it.
Can you name any double standards in relationships that benefit men?
No.
Not much. I mean,
nothing.
I'm probably not gonna be able to think of any right now, but I know there's probably some.
I could tell you one. Yeah, sure. The sleeping around, I'd say that's a double standard. But outside of that, I've done the show for months. That's the only one I could think of.
Yeah, I think that's.
And it's not even a privilege; it's something that you earn, because not every guy can do it, but we all inherently want to.
It's one, right? But that usually comes from some type of displeasure in the relationship. I think if you're genuinely happy and content, you're not going to step out. I think when you step out is because there's something lacking.
Yeah, I think so too. And a lot of times, like, girls don't sleep with the guys they're dating or their husband. 1 in 4 marriages are sexless. So it's like, do you think
1 in 4 marriages are sexless, and everyone in here, all the religious people are like, W marriage, fuck that.
Men should be blamed for cheating if she's not sleeping with him?
No, that's what you should do. She's not giving you one of nature's greatest fruits, especially if you settle down and you're with one woman. Go fuck a bitch, man. W cheating if she's sexless.
If you're not giving your husband or partner sex, which is a major part, and I know some people say, "Oh, sex is not that big of a deal."
Oh,
bullshit.
yeah, it is.
Kick the rocks.
Sex is the glue for the relationship, and she gonna stick together with something come.
If you're not giving it and you're using it as a weapon, then I don't think you should then be upset or disappointed when that person steps out. It's like if I have a child and I'm not feeding my child, or I'm not nurturing him and taking care of him, if he goes to the neighbor and the neighbor is cooking him meals, as a parent, yeah, I'm going to be upset, but logically I shouldn't be, because I'm not doing my responsibility.
Do you guys think women in general care about men's problems?
Absolutely not. That's why Pearl's channel just hit 1 million. Congrats to Pearl on 1 mil subs.
At face value, yes. In reality, no.
Yeah, I would say absolutely no.
Base. He listens to Fresh and Fit.
So why do you think that our society labels women to be more nurturing if they're really not empathetic to men's issues?
That's interesting. That's a good way of putting that. I'm not well versed on this stuff. Sorry.
Men don't believe in mental health. You could tell a man like, hey, your mental's not right. Go get your mental together. And they would be like, oh, I'm okay. Like, it's like they don't want to even speak on that or think that nothing's wrong. And it's like, now where we are, it's like that.
Mental health is an L. It's better to not believe it, go to the gym, get better, improve your life. That's a better solution to stewing and talking about it.
Mental health is a big
Always.
thing. Like, if you're...
It's a big thing to lead people. Fuck that, bro. It's going to hold you back. This is how they keep us at the bottom. Always thinking about our next mental health problem, our next disorder, OCD, ADHD, depression, anxiety. It's better to move forward.
Not right. You're just not right. You can't be right. If you're not right for yourself, you can't be right for no one else. Your girlfriend, your child, your wife, nothing. If you're not right, you're not right for no one.
I want to give you guys an observation that I have from months of interviewing, right? I have this theory that women only care about men's problems when they benefit women. And for example, you said if your mental health's not right, you're not good to everyone. And I feel like women only care about men's mental health because it affects us. But we don't care about things like male suicide.
We don't actually care about men's mental health. Bro, spot the fuck on.
Never hear male homelessness. Males were...
I brought up these exact same statistics on Fresh and Fit, and the girl said, and she looked just like this with the Lee. She said, it's giving insecurity. It's giving a lack of confidence. I'm like, what? What's giving that? The fact that men delete themselves 3 times more than women? Yeah, it's giving like you're insecure. That's proof that women don't care. If you tell them an actual stat, men kill themselves 3 times more than women, and they just, like, what's wrong with you? Who hurt you?
Like males being the majority of workplace deaths. I never hear people talk about that, but it's always men's mental health.
Most people are oblivious to this stuff. We know, unless you're, like you said, the 6'6" and 6, nobody looks at you. Nobody pays any attention to you. Most men are out here alone. 99% of the time we deal with our problems alone. Everything you do it alone versus...
Women are never really alone.
Any woman, anywhere, at any time, no matter what they look like, how they're shaped, how their size, how whatever, they can get a man at any point that they want to. And most of us men deal with life alone at a lot of points, and we're expected to provide, we're expected to do this, and that. And if we don't, we're almost worthless.
Why do you think that women tend to make lists of what they want in a relationship rather than what they bring to the table?
Because they're unable to look inside and understand who they actually are. And yeah, I don't know, that's a great question, but...
And one more thing, was there ever a time where you struggled in dating, struggled with women?
Everybody.
Yeah, I used to be a little bit more selfless. I used to think of the other person quite a bit. I mean, I still think of the other person now, but I have a little bit more respect for myself, and I understand that back then the way I operated probably was never going to give me the relationship that I wanted, because I would have been, subservient to that person, always making sure that their feelings is considered and doing anything above and beyond for them. And a lot of times when we try to please people, the only person that ends up, hurt is you in the end. So now I'm a little bit more of a strict person. If I tell you I'm going to be downstairs at 7:05, you're not there, I'm leaving. Because I respect my time, respect myself, and you got to do the same for me as I would do for you. So
imagine ending a video on "so." W's complicated.
That's it.
Your job?